Hi guys, this is Library Inmate, and this is my first video. This is my first review of a book in the form of a video. I am a second year medical student. I barely get time to read. I barely get time to ride. But yeah, this is my attempt at anchoring myself to the world of books. I hope it's successful. I want to give a shout out to Jack Edwards. It is his recommendation. This book, I read this book on his recommendation basically, and it is basically him that inspired me to start this YouTube booktube channel. I've followed him for a while now. He's very interesting. The books that he read align with my taste a lot, and yeah, I just wanted to give him a shout out. And yeah, it's a very short book, only 156 pages, and so because it was a short read, it was easier to just get started with it, because then I wasn't thinking, oh, this is such a huge chunk of a book and I have to finish it in the summer break, or I won't be able to get back to it once university starts again, because I do go to medical school, and it's just really hard to keep up with reading fiction when you're just studying all the fucking time. But yeah, the point is that I picked up this book because it was short, and I was promised a very fun read within this short thing. I just keep looking at my brother for some sort of validation, confirmation that I'm doing the right, yeah, I can't even speak English. Okay, so talking about this book, the things that I really liked. But before I get to that, I will first talk about what the book was about, right? So it was a Japanese translation, and it is set in this one cafe. The cafe is in a basement, and there's this one particular seat in the cafe which, when you sit on it, you can travel back in time, right? So that is what the book is about, and then we follow the stories of these four different characters who go back in time or go forward in time. This is a little bit of a spoiler, so yeah. But so there's a lot of rules that go along with traveling in time by sitting on that seat, and those rules include that you cannot move from that chair while you're in the past, and you can only stay in the past for as long as your coffee is warm. So as soon as your coffee gets cold, if you still haven't come back, which you do by drinking all of the coffee, as soon as you're done drinking all of the coffee, come back to the present. But if you fail to drink all of your coffee before it gets cold, then you're stuck in some sort of a curse, right? So there's a lot of rules that go along with sitting on that seat and traveling in time, because of which it's not a very popular spot, and also you can't really change the circumstances of your present, so that kind of beats the purpose of time travel. But it's a very interesting book. It has a very different take on time travel, right? Because usually when we consume pieces of media associated with time travel, there's a lot of going back in time, meeting your past self, but meeting your past self and then changing the present and changing the circumstances, and then there's just a dent in the universe, and time is not working properly, and there's just all those elements. The book is not about that at all. The book is not about time travel. Time travel is just a vessel through which the characters come to these self-realizations, right? So the book itself is more about the characters than it is about time travel. And those are the kind of books that I really like the most, right? Very character-driven books. The characters in this book are so well fleshed out. By the end of the book, I'm just in love with each one of the characters. They're all just I want to hug them. Their stories are so important. I care so much. When I'm reading their stories, I'm just yeah, it makes sense what you're doing. Yeah, I'm not bored. I don't want to pick up my phone and scroll to Instagram while I'm reading their stories. And then also, so the entire book is set in one cafe. Like the entire 156 pages is just set in this one setting, and that just kind of gives this book a very theatrical atmosphere, and it's just very interesting to read, because for a novel, usually for things to progress, settings need to change, but in this book that does not happen. Like the book is set in this one place, and usi mein you see what do you call it, just like the story progressing. And yeah, and it also, it could be classified as a collection of short stories, because even though the premise is the same, the setting is the same, the characters have different stories, and so the book is divided into 4 parts, and each part is exploring the story and the narrative of some other character, right? So one of these is a young married couple who decide to part ways because one of them has to go to America for work. Then there's the story of an old couple. One of them has rapidly progressing Alzheimer's disease, and this is the one that struck a chord in me the most, because I think I could relate to it personally as well, because my grandfather had Alzheimer's before he passed away. And you know, the witnessing him losing his memories of the people that he cared about, the people that he loved, the things that he liked to do, like him losing his identity basically, was just like such a surreal experience, and that's something that's always lived with me. And reading about a similar experience like that from a perspective of a person who's losing his memories partner was very interesting. It's very interesting how that person navigated those emotions. And yeah, after that there's a story of 2 sisters, and these sisters, okay, I don't want to spoil anything more in the book, but so the bond of the sisters is explored, and there's just like an element of rebelliousness and family dynamics and stuff like that. And then there's also a little bit of motherhood and parenthood explored towards the end of the book, the 4th part. So it's all of these different, very different relationship dynamics coming together and playing their part in making this like a novel, and this like yeah, even though the present cannot change for these people, their perception of their present does, you know, like by going back in time and reflecting and thinking about things in a different way, their perception of their present changes. So like I think the take home message from this book was that this particular thing, it was this idea that even though you can't change your present, you can change your perception of it by if not going back in time, which we can't do obviously because time travel does not exist, come fight me on this, but yeah, if you can't go back in time and change your present, at least you can reflect on your past and change your perception of your present. And that was a nice take home message. I feel like I liked that, you know, it wasn't just like a loop of a spiral of just regret and at not being able to do certain things in the past. It was some self exploration and realizations, and that was refreshing. Yeah, okay, so I've talked about most of the things that I wanted to talk about. One thing that I was skeptical about when I first learned about the idea of this book was, you know, like, so the rules that are necessary for you to travel back in time also include that you can only stay in the past for as long as the coffee is warm. But I was thinking, warm and cold is not absolute, right? These terms are kind of relative. So how do you know for sure? Like, me thinking something is warm might be different from someone else thinking that that thing is warm. They might think it's cold, well, but I might be like, no, it's kind of lukewarm, you know, like those are not absolute things. So that was my that's what I was skeptical about, but that idea is also explored in the book. So I'm not going to go into the details of that because then I will have to be giving spoilers, but yeah, it was nice that that idea was also addressed, and the one loophole that I could find in their plot was pretty well tackled. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this book. Yeah, I will have to edit this video a lot, but I just hope that I can continue making videos on books that interest me, and just like being able to talk about these books, because my friends are not listening, so you guys have to, right? Someone has to listen to me just rant about the books that I like. And also I think this will help me, this will anchor me, so sort of in, like, it will anchor me to the world of books, and not let me drift away so far into medicine that I forget that I am a reader, and that is an integral part of my personality. So yeah, look forward to the next booktube video. I will also try to make vlogs and my reading vlogs, and let me know in the comments what other kind of videos you would like to see from me. For now, I'm just exploring the video editing world. It's something I've always wanted to explore, so I'm like, might as well give it a shot in the summer break. I hope it's successful. I hope you guys like it. I hope my voice is not too annoying to listen to. Yeah, I think that's enough self-deprecation for now. But yeah, see you guys in the next video, and bye bye.